I'm going to work out one example from section 3.1 on quadratic functions. So we want to answer these questions. Given this quadratic function 3x squared minus 12x minus 4, well, does this function have a minimum or a maximum value? You want to look at the leading coefficient of x squared. It's positive, so the parabola opens upward, so it has a minimum value. Okay, and that's our answer now. Now we want to know what is the minimum value, and then where does that minimum value happen at. Okay, so let's check that out. For that, I'm going to go over to the scrap paper here. All right, now for this, we got to remember to read off what the vertex is. We're going to have to put this in vertex form. Okay, so to put that in vertex form, what we need to do is complete the square. So if we remember our identity, we have to have the coefficient of x squared being 1. And if we do that, we take the coefficient of x, divide it by 2, square it, and add it in. Then it turns, these three terms turn into x plus half that coefficient of x, all squared. So for this problem, what we need to do is take out the 3, factor the 3 out from the first two terms in order to make that coefficient of x squared 1. Then we look at our number in front of x now, which is negative 4, divide it by 2, and we get negative 2. We square that, add and subtract it in. Okay, and the reason we're adding and subtracting it is so we don't change the expression. That's like adding in 0. Now the first three terms are special. That becomes x minus 2 squared. So what we really have here is 3 times the entire expression, x minus 2 all squared, and then we still have the minus negative 2 squared, which is 4, and then outside the bracket we have the negative 4. So now what we're going to do is distribute the 3 through the bracket. So we're going to get 3 times the quantity x minus 2 squared minus 12, and then minus 4 finally at the end. Putting it all together, we've rewritten our expression for our function, our formula for our function, as 3 times x minus 2 squared minus 16. Right now, what we want to do from there is graph the function. We want to use transformations to read off the graph of this function. We know that this shifts the graph of x squared right 2 units. This moves it down 3. The 3 on the outside stretches it by a factor of 3. Mainly what you want to look at is these two shifts, though. Shifts right 2, down 16. That's what your parabola looks like. At least that's a rough sketch of it. We know what the vertex is now at 2, negative 16. So the range is from negative 16 to infinity. Okay, the minimum value is negative 16. It happens when x is equal to 2. All right, so now let's go back and answer those questions. The minimum value is negative 16. It happens at x equals 2. Okay, now we want to type in the domain of this function. The domain is going to be negative infinity to infinity. And the range we said was negative 16 is our lowest y value. We don't have a highest y value, it goes up forever, so it's going to be negative 16 to infinity. And that's all there is to do for this problem.